Family owned and operated, always the best value.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion for happier, healthier, furry friends.
Authentic Mexican food is not always easy to find, but you can find it in Lincoln at Tacos Los Hermanos. Their birria tacos are worth the drive from anywhere in town, but their chicken, chorizo, al pastor, and asada tacos are also worth the trip. You can also try any of those meats in a burrito or quesadilla. You won't find a better toppings bar in the area or better dessert options. If you can't get there, don't worry, they do deliver as well. Stop by Tacos Los Hermanos for lunch or dinner today at 70th and Havelock Streets in Lincoln.
Your new Total Wine in Lincoln has the largest selection of wines, spirits, and beers, plus totally low prices and friendly service from our helpful guides. With over 8,000 wines, 4,500 spirits, and 2,500 beers, you're sure to find your favorites and something new. You can even order delivery, in-store, or curbside pickup. Find what you love what you find, only at Total Wine & More. Now open in Lincoln next to Gateway Mall.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
At Allo, we go beyond internet, bringing you faster speeds backed by an all-fiber network. We go beyond TV and phone service, delivering reliable, crystal clear connections. We go beyond customer service with local teammates and no robots for a hassle-free experience. We go beyond value, offering transparent prices with no contracts, hidden fees, or data caps. We even go beyond our office doors by working, hiring, volunteering, and living in the communities we serve. Go beyond fiber. Sign up today at allofiber.com.
Yesterday, your water heater worked just fine. Today, surprise! When you're out of hot water, just call the plumbers at Bryant. In most cases, you can get same-day water heater replacement. What you won't get is a costly surprise with the bill. At Bryant, the price you're quoted is the price you'll pay. No last-minute extras for piping or ventilation alterations. Need a new water heater? Just call Bryant, 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Unearth the secret to long-lasting tires at Tread's Central Tire Pros, a league apart in commitment, service, and expertise. This isn't just about rubber meeting the road, but trust, safety, and surety converging in perfect harmony. This is where expectations are exceeded every time. Make your appointment today at Tread Central Tire Pros, just south of Cortland on Highway 77, or visit our website to explore our services. Remember, when it comes to tires, choose Tread Central Tire Pros because we tread differently.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here, summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with the child. It's a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting lincolnteammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call
John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
and electrical.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion for happier, healthier, furry friends.
Authentic Mexican food is not always easy to find, but you can find it in Lincoln at Tacos Los Hermanos. Their birria tacos are worth the drive from anywhere in town, but their chicken, chorizo, al pastor, and asada tacos are also worth the trip. You can also try any of those meats in a burrito or quesadilla. You won't find a better toppings bar in the area or better dessert options. If you can't get there, don't worry, they do deliver as well. Stop by Tacos Los Hermanos for lunch or dinner today at 70th and Havelock Streets in Lincoln.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America, this is What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Chancellor Brewington.
All right, welcome in on What's Brewing, Chancellor Brewington, Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. We got the former Husker himself, Chancellor Brewington, former Husker tight end, joining us via the stream. You guys can join the streams as well and put a face to the voice. Facebook, YouTube, X, Allo, Channel 961, 402-464-5685. We still got Royals on the brick and mortar, but I believe they should be wrapping up relatively soon. So hopefully by the end of the show, we'll be back live. But Chancellor Brewington, go ahead and bring you in here. How's it going on a Tuesday? Pretty nice here in Lincoln, Nebraska. How's it going in your parts?
It's going great, man. It's going great. It's great to be on. Man, we got a lot to talk about.
I don't know. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but did you have eyes on the Pacers Cavs? I was working.
Yeah. Did you see the ending?
No. I
oh
just
my
filled up 120 to 119, and then I'm like, wait, Donovan Mitchell had 48 points. And
I mean, Halliburton with like 10 seconds left. They're down 2. He has an ISO. He takes a middle step back 3, drains it with like, I think 2 seconds left. This playoff series. And then you saw last night with the Nuggets.
Oh yeah.
Like Aaron Gordon with a fast break 3.
That's 2 buzzer beaters this year alone. He had the alley-oop buzzer beater. It wasn't an alley-oop. It made it into an alley-oop. And then he just drilled the 3. He's having an incredible playoff run.
The boys are balling right now. And then obviously you got the T-Wolves and Warriors. That's going to be a good one. I think that's going to be a series, and we'll get into all of this. But yeah, this playoff series. I mean, these playoff series, plural, is they're living up to the hype, and obviously, Cavs being the number 1 seed and the best record in the NBA. I mean, they're down 2-0 to Indiana right now.
Yeah, they're down 2-0, and Evan Mobley not there today. I don't think Darius Garland was out there either, correct?
Right.
So they're a little bit short, but that's exactly what the Pacers were hoping for. It's like, we'll take you down while you're short. Rob 2 games on the road. It's one thing to do one game, but you just rob both of them. Now they get to go back to the Pacers, which sneaky good venue. I always say that about them. I do think Indiana lately, not only because of Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever, but the Pacers, just the city of Indiana, has really been falling in love with basketball, with the product they've been getting. And now you get 2 games at home there, and Halliburton's having his playoff party.
Yeah.
Like he's fully coming out as well as one of the stars in the league after being voted on by his peers as one of the most overrated players, which is ironic.
It's so ironic, but isn't it funny how life goes? But I think one thing, how you hinted on the Pacers and how they really show up for, or Indiana has shown up for the Pacers. Like when the Pacers are hot, I remember like Paul George, Roy Hibbert days.
Yeah, that's my favorite era of the Pacers. They were popping. Everyone thought that was the finals team in the making.
Yeah, or even like the the original like Jermaine O'Neal days. Like we're talking early 2000s, mid 2000s. Like, yeah, really good. I mean, they show up. It's kind of like we talked about Minnesota, similar there. Like, when their team is hot, and they don't have a lot going on in Indiana, right? I mean, you got the Colts, you got some stuff going on, right? But I think it's kind of similar to Nebraska in a sense, to where obviously there's no pro team here and everyone loves the Huskers. But man, when one of your team's doing good and usually you're not playing the best, like I'm sure Indiana's on fire. Then they get to go to Indiana game 3. Oh boy, like it's gonna be electric in there.
Yeah, I mean that's the beauty of if you're gonna be one of those small market teams, in particular a small market team in a overall, non-competitive market, like a lot of these Midwest, like that's why OKC pops off, because yes, they have the college programs around there, but as far as pro sports go, am I blanking on anything? Why am I blanking? It's just OKC, correct? There's no other.
Where in Oklahoma?
I think it's just OKC. So the point I'm making, like, you have a spot where you're a little bit sports starved. You start bringing success to that small market area, and there's just that one team that's carrying the weight of how pretty much an entire state feels about their pro team. Like, yeah, that moves the needle a lot. And Indiana is different because they got multiple sports teams. But I think certainly when you look at OKC and just kind of the idea of a lot of these small market teams, you do see that loyalty just at a much higher passion. And then Timberwolves, I won't even blame them. Their crowd was fading. They thought about selling the team, but that team was bad for so long at Target Center. And now that they finally have some success and they've shown, hey, we're a good playoff team, we're bound to probably go win some playoff games here, they show back up. And it doesn't take long. It takes, a month and everybody's ears pick up and becomes a great venue. I'm still just astonished that the Pacers won this because they were down, 15 at one point in time?
Yeah. And then so I'm thinking like, man, if they get this done, because obviously it'll be in 2 days, they go back to Indiana. If they go up 3-0, I mean, you can kind of sign, seal, delivered. It's going to Pacers. I don't see. Cavs going on a 4-game stretch. That would have to be the first time in history.
Yeah, Donovan Mitchell would have to go insane.
Yeah, you just said he had 48. And they still fall short. Yeah.
And it was a decent 48, right? 21 free throws. So that's going to help you out a lot. But also, he was 50% from the floor. So it's not like he was just taking a million shots. He was taking quite a few, but, make 50%. You'll live with that any day. The only thing that keeps killing him, 1 for 7 on 3-point shot attempts.
Yeah.
One of those. And even if he makes, half of those threes, we're talking 60 burger for him and a pretty comfortable win. And this isn't to say this is his fault.
Right.
He still got 48. But that 3-point shooting is like really hurting the Cavs right now. Like they just need to make a couple shots from deep, and the inability not to right now is costing 2 games.
Yeah, we talked about that yesterday. The Pacers shot game 1, I believe it was like 53%, something nutty. And then the Cavs shot like, I want to say like 18 or 20%, somewhere around there. Then game 2, like you said, they shot 28% from 3. And the Pacers shot 39%. So, and that's kind of what we said too. Like the gap for, or like the margin for the Pacers, obviously shooting 50% from 3 isn't something you can aim for every game. But if you can drop, I think I said like between 38 and 40, like that's a really good night of shooting. And they got it done, June 11 from 28. Cavs, you look at the Cavs offense, a lot of their buckets come from 3, like outside the arc. Like, they shot 39 threes. And so if you're only making 11 of those, that's going to cost you a ball game. But the flip side is still, you can make an argument that, when it starts falling, right? If you're shooting 40 threes, you get, 40 of them, 40, you shoot 40%. You're sitting pretty good. You're sitting around 18, somewhere around there.
Sorry, say that again. I lost you a little bit there.
Oh no, I was just saying that, if you're shooting 40 threes a game, and then you get that 28% up to, 35, 38, that's probably a blowout win right there.
Oh yeah. Well, in this game alone, right? And we'll just kind of round circle this to reiterate the point that we're making. Like game 2, 3-point percentage for the Pacers was 40%, which is beautiful for them. Their overall field goal percentage was 51%. And then once again, you go down to the Cavaliers. They finished the game 28% from 3. And it's a really great 3-point shooting team, or at least it was throughout the regular season. But I do think, and I'll ask you on this, like, how much is Darius Garland not being there hurting them? Like, even if he's not putting in a bunch of points, the spacing that he provides would at least open up those 3-point shots a lot more for everybody else involved. Him just not being on the court, I think it's hurting them in a way that, just looking at the box score, I'll have to go back and actually watch the full game, game 2 between the Pacers and Cavs. But box score, once again, is telling me that the 3-point shots are probably being contested more often than not, and they don't have enough spacing.
No, yeah, that hurts. I mean, this is I want to say he was an all-star, not this past year, but the year before, I believe.
Yeah, he racked one up. He's got an all-star.
Yeah, this is an all-star. This is at one point in the NBA, I mean, considered, I want to say he was like on the fringe of being in the all-pro list. Like he's been a great player in the league, and I think the versatility he provides, and especially this being such a I mean, from what we're seeing, it's going to be a 3-ball series. Like, who can shoot the 3-ball the best? And I mean, Garland adds that, adds a sneaky defensive presence as well. You know, I'm not going to say he's Ben Simmons or anything, but he has that presence to him. I guess Ben Simmons is not a
I was going to make a stab at it and I let it go.
Yeah,
but you corrected yourself.
Maybe 2016 Ben Simmons, but
there you go.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, a big, you know, a guard who has that presence defensively. I mean, I think he slept on, but his 3-ball is and the ability to make plays and set up his bigs, get them in pick and roll situations, and just having like 2 guys who can really attack with him and Donovan Mitchell. And, you know, I think that's what made the Cavs so good the past, 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, I mean, like, he's, you know, throughout his career averaging, making sure this is just his year. Yeah, averaging 21 points. Okay, so this is his career high right now in 21.7 points. So you're losing 21.7 points from your starter. He's also, as a career shooter, shooting 4.42% from the 3-point line. So you got a 42% 3-point shooter that you don't have out there. So again, that's why I kind of put the spacing out there. Dude's a knockdown free throw shooter. He's high 80s. I think he's about 88%. And then again, you're right. It wasn't a one-time All-Star, 2-time NBA All-Star. So he's back 2 of those. He got one, what was that? Yeah, 20, 21, 22, and then obviously 24, 25. He racked that up as well. But I mean, this is a guy who, I think without him, the Cavs are significantly different than I expected. Like, they're just kind of a shell of themselves. So as great as Donovan Mitchell is, it really is kind of, it seemed to be a 1-2 punch between both those guys, because Donovan Mitchell can only do so much. Like, 48 points in a loss is tough to swallow. And if you just have Darius Garland, I guarantee you they have, at the very least, wouldn't be down at home 0-2.
Yeah, when you watch the Cavs, it's like Spider, like Donovan Mitchell, he's kind of that firecracker. Like, you never know, when he's going to dunk on someone, or, you know, when he's just going to take someone to the hole, or, you know, get hot from 3 and shoot 50% from a game, you know. But I think Garland is more of that, like, calmness within the offense, like that consistency, you know, like he'll pop off for the occasional 40, but, you know, like, you can get 18 out of him. Like, you can get 20. And then I think Donovan Mitchell's kind of like the anomaly. Like, you don't really know what you're going to get from him. Like, you know, you're going to get a good game, but sometimes a good game could be, 48, right? And you have that real star power with Donovan Mitchell. Not to say Darius Garland isn't, but you kind of have that, like, unpredictable unpredictability with Donovan Mitchell. That kind of it integrates well. It integrates well, especially them playing like the 1 and the 2, playing both guards.
Yeah, Donovan Mitchell, and everyone hold their breath when I say this, he is a little bit like Steph Curry, where you feel good when you feel like you're keeping him nullified, but it's just kind of a moment. When he makes that certain shot, you're like, okay, this is going to be a tough quarter if we don't get up.
Okay, if you're the other team, yeah.
Like Steph Curry, you can feel great. Man, look at what quarters 1 through 3. He's only at 12 points right now. We've done a great job. Let's keep it up in the fourth. And then he walks over half court line, takes 2 steps, drains it. You know, you have a sinking
timeout immediately.
Yeah. And then if you're playing at Golden State, the crowd loves it. They just get louder, as we talked about before. And if you're on the road, you know, I think it's a smart thing to do, but I don't, you know, I'd be real. Like, the data probably shows Steph doesn't give 2 damns about those timeouts. Like, when he has those moments, he just stays hot through it. Donovan Mitchell seems to be like that kind of same way, where you can keep him quiet, and you might be able to keep him quiet for the whole game. When I say quiet, I mean like maybe only scored 18, 15, 20 points, which you can keep him to that. You'll take that. That's under his average. But he's just the type of guy, when he hits a few big shots, it just feels like an avalanche is inevitable, and all you're doing is trying to find just enough damage of your own to keep up with the onslaught that's coming your way. Because the NBA is too good today now, where if someone has it going, they're just going to make shots. And your offense has to be good enough to keep up with it or have a big enough lead to protect you from that cushion, as the Cavs didn't, right? They had that cushion, but the Pacers kept swinging. You know, they got the Donovan Mitchell onslaught, but the Pacers offense stayed with it. They didn't take, you know, him going off at times for any reason to lose a little bit of faith, not to push transition. Again, I didn't watch this game, but I can tell you right now, if he has 48 points and the Pacers still won, scoring 120 and a playoff series, that offense was keeping his rhythm together. And again, the shooting numbers show that. Just good composure from the Pacers. And man, did Halliburton's dad make an appearance?
No, I saw. I don't know how factual. I don't know how reliable this source is, but I heard someone say that he's not allowed to sit like in certain sections in the Pacers facility anymore, or whatever.
If true, that's funny. Your own dad's got to get sanctioned off here a little bit. I'm not sure if that's true. If it is, that's pretty funny. Quick update here before we got through to our first break, because again, we are off the Royals, as the Royals, let me find their game here. I believe the Royals were up. I'd assume so. They're playing the Chicago White Sox today. We're back here live, 1040 O Street. Me and Chancellor Brewington, as the Royals are off here. Yes, they do get the win, 4-3. Chicago White Sox, they dropped to a rough 10-26 record. The Kansas City Royals advanced to 21-16. In other news, Brewington, are you a big Husker baseball fan or college baseball fan in general?
No, but I'll be one for the night.
All right. I don't know how much I want to talk about it. 8-7 Creighton beats Nebraska baseball. Once again, we can't beat Creighton.
Oh boy.
It was
I
really
didn't
good.
know Creighton had a baseball team.
Says a lot, right? I don't even know what I mean by that, if I'm being honest. I'm just trying to throw some slander Creighton's way because we're just getting our butts handed to us over and over again. It was a good rally. You know, I was tracking it earlier on the score. It looked like Nebraska had no shot, but they do finish it 8-7. And Nebraska's in a tough spot. They got to, I'd have to update where they're at in the Big Ten right now, but they were, you know, especially before that series with Minnesota, when it was all on the table, at the verge of possibly not even being in the Big Ten playoffs in baseball. I think they're going to be okay, even with this loss to Creighton, because they won the series with Minnesota. They got a stiff arm Purdue as well, I believe. There's a couple teams underneath them. They basically just stiff arm, keep them out of your spot. And then there's only the one team above them that they're not going to be able to catch up to anyway. So really it's stiff arming others. But a loss to Creighton, like, you want to see this team get hot right now. That's the worst thing you want to see towards the end of the season, is like your rival, not once, but twice this year, gives you an L. So it's a tough one to swallow. Other news here, make sure to recap everything. We also, the other NBA game we got going on that we have not talked about is the Timberwolves and the Warriors. We'll throw it to break, but Brewington, before we do so, who do you like in this game one, as it's 36-22? You got a little bit of info on it.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Steph already hit 3 threes in the first half so far.
Yeah, I'm going Warriors just because of that.
Yeah, and 0 for 7. Yeah, I'm probably going Golden State literally just off that stat.
All right, we'll talk about it more on the other side as to why we're both leaning that way. But like I said, we still got 2 more segments right here on Take Weeknights with Chancellor Brewington back live here. So plenty more content left. We'll talk to you guys in just a little bit.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
You grew up on cereal for breakfast and you graduated into drinking coffee at some point as an adult. Now there's a place in Lincoln where you can stay caffeinated but eat like you used to. Control Coffee and Cereal Bar brings Saturday morning vibes to every day with locally roasted specialty coffees, Lotus energy drinks, and tons of breakfast cereals with toppings. And did we mention they have video games to play while you're there too? Control Coffee and Cereal Bar open 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday and 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. on the weekends at 15th and Pine Lake.
Midwest Bank is now hiring in Lincoln. They have multiple banking positions open and are looking for dynamic individuals passionate about helping others and building relationships. With a family-friendly culture, competitive benefits, and unique perks, Midwest Bank is a great place to start a new career. Apply today at midwest.bank. Midwest Bank is an equal opportunity employer, member FDIC.
Why are some people more successful? Is it talent and determination, or did they recognize an opportunity? Discover a career that lets you help families reach their financial goals as you build lasting professional relationships. One with unlimited income potential. From Modern Woodman, a leading fraternal financial services provider.
I'm Modern Woodman Regional Director Sean Erickson. Call me at 402-483-6515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodman of America. Touching lives, securing futures.
A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and a diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
Step into healing at Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery. Our team of top-notch medical professionals turns pain into progress with state-of-the-art treatments and compassionate care. Visit prairieortho.com and discover the difference in quality orthopedic and plastic surgery services tailored to your unique needs. Your health matters, and Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery is dedicated to helping you thrive. Reach your full potential. Embrace a better tomorrow with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Take control of your health with the DASH scan at Advanced Medical Imaging. The DASH scan is a full-body MRI designed for advanced health screening. This dynamic approach provides exceptionally sharp images across multiple organ systems, helping to detect potential concerns early. With minimal radiation and no invasive procedures, the DASH scan offers a safe, comprehensive look at your health. Plus, results are delivered faster than ever, giving both patients and physicians confidence in screening and diagnosis. Your health is too important to wait. Schedule your DASH scan today at Advanced Medical Imaging. Visit amimaging.com or call 402-484-6677 to learn more.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
You grew up on cereal for breakfast and you graduated into drinking coffee at some point as an adult. Now there's a place in Lincoln where you can stay caffeinated but eat like you used to. Control Coffee and Cereal Bar brings Saturday morning vibes to every day with locally roasted specialty coffees, Lotus energy drinks, and tons of breakfast cereals with toppings. And did we mention they have video games to play while you're there too? Control Coffee and Cereal Bar open 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday and 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. on the weekends at 15th and Pine Lake.
Back to What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back in. What's Brewing? Chancellor Brewington, segment number 2. As again, we are back live on the brick and mortar 93.7 The Ticket on the FM airwaves. You guys can always join in. And now that we are live, 402-464-5685. That is that Sarah Heyman text line. And we're talking a lot of NBA playoffs. Maybe we'll tie in a little bit more of the Michigan Husker football scandal going down as well. Well, I should clear that up. More of a Michigan scandal and how it may affect Nebraska. The Huskers aren't involved in any scandals. Get that out there and clear it up. But Chancellor Brewington, we still got some more NBA playoffs we have yet to talk about. So I'll let you start it off. We kind of hinted at that Timberwolves and Warriors series.
Yeah, well, we didn't get to a big man stat line. Denver, Jokic last night. We didn't get on that. Hear this one, Harrison. 42 points, 22 rebounds, and 6 assists. He's 15 from 29. And he was 2 for 3 from 3-point. 22 rebounds. I mean, it's ridiculous. And Aaron Gordon is playing fantastic. We talked about the game winner last night in the previous series, but and then you got Jamal Murray with 21 points. But I mean, it's just there. I don't know how you beat a dude who can literally affect the game in every way possible and does it consistently. And then you have other guys who know their role and are playing at a really high level. I know Michael Porter Jr. only had like 2 points.
Yeah, he was 1 for 8.
Right. So he starts hitting a couple, right? That will kind of alleviate some of the pressure off of Jokic. He doesn't have to score that 40 ball every night. But I mean, if he does, and Michael Porter Jr. is hot, like, I mean, you can run teams out the building. So 1-0. I mean, I think every top seed so far has lost first game. I don't know. We're going to see if who would be the top seed, Minnesota over Golden State.
Yeah, Golden State's a 7.
Yeah. So, I mean, if Golden State gets it done, which is our prediction right now, if they get it done, then every top seed will have lost the first game of each series.
I could tell you in the West, that might not surprise me. The fact that the East had happened as well does astound me a little bit. And the fact that the Cavs are down 0-2, I get with the injuries. 0-2 is extra surprising, though. But real quick on Jokic, I cannot wait for SGA to get the MVP now. Because I can sit here and saying I was right, and everyone's going to feel really silly giving SGA the regular season award. Or again, I always use the example of a guy like Patrick Mahomes. I'm not a Chiefs fan, but like you'll go through the NFL MVP season, and last year wasn't an example, but certainly years prior, you can make the argument. And then at the end of the year, you'll sit there and you'll give it to this quarterback, and you'll kind of sit there and be like, but we all know that Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league. Like as it sits right now, he's the best. He has the most success. We'd be wrong to not think. Same thing with LeBron James. You know, again, not the biggest LeBron James, fan out there, as Chancellor Brewington knows all too well. man has definitely got snubbed some MVPs. Kobe Bryant, same thing. You get that voter fatigue. They all of a sudden get snubbed MVPs.
Right.
It's the award is so much of just a media talking point to drive revenue that it sometimes just feels ridiculous because SGA is a phenomenal player. But like, you cannot watch these playoffs and just say, I still think SGA is the best player. I won't believe you. I think you'll be lying to yourself if you say that. Because Jokic just, to your point, a bad day for Jokic is what? A double-double?
Yeah, it's 21 and 12 rebounds and 8 assists.
Yeah. Or if he doesn't have a good shooting night, it's 20 rebounds and 25 assists. Like, he has unreal assist numbers as well. So it's you can't ask for a whole lot more. And he won the MVP last year. He is better in every statistical category this year. But he's not the MVP this year. Okay. Yeah. So that's where I always fall on it. So yeah, Jokic, I will say, I mean, do you think that affect that at all? Like, I know it's a regular season award, but do you think that when they put this together, they do look at the postseason and just not necessarily say it?
I don't know, because it goes to a point that so many people in the past have been worthy of the award and didn't get it. So, and it's just a weird thing. It's so, I hate that they don't do it like game 82 MVP should be sent out.
Yeah.
Like it should be game 82 award ceremony for a weekend, literally that weekend, get all the awards out the way. Cause you don't want like any of the posts,
like a rest period too. Like, why don't you just have a nice rest period for all the teams?
Right.
Get the award, and now everyone's got the rest geared up for playoffs.
Yeah.
And you don't have to have load management towards the last week of NBA games.
Right. You get 7-day, whatever, maybe they do a couple shoot arounds and then you have the award ceremony and then playoffs start on Tuesday or something. I think that would be awesome, but maybe we have to talk to Adam Silver about that one. Okay. But I want to do this with you. So you're a huge Jokic fan, obviously.
Yeah.
Rightfully so. Rightfully so. And I don't think anyone can knock you for that. He's like this humble assassin who can just annihilate your NBA team's hopes and dreams for the year, right?
He does care about basketball as well. I don't know where that media story got out so much. Like, I get it with the horses, but the dude loves
it's
basketball.
Ridiculous.
You see him screaming at his teammates on the court. I mean, he's in the huddles coaching and just yelling at the top of his lungs, clearly pissed off about some set that didn't run right or their lack of urgency. And he just doesn't care about basketball, though. Stop saying the media for everyone. I know that's not you, but that one drives me nuts.
Yeah, because I mean, at the end of the day, I think it is really healthy for athletes to have a turnoff button. And I think like we've been so conditioned, especially in the West, to the Michael Jordans and the Kobe Bryants and the Tiger Woods in a sense, but like athletes that are very vocal about like, this is, I live, breathe, and die this, and like I will literally not sleep until this is done. And I think Jokic has like a different mentality. Like, I train, I do this, whatever, but when it's time to play, I play, and when it's time to work, I work. And so I think it's really healthy. And I think from like a psychology standpoint, we should really delve into that, like how that's successful for him.
I mean, it explains some of the ice in his veins, right? If you're not putting your entire livelihood on a game of basketball, you're a little more calm.
And I think I think like Western sports have been conditioned that like, if you like the grind culture, right? And so whatever, but
I think he does. He just didn't embrace the media, and somehow him not embracing the media got twisted into he doesn't care. It's like, oh, hear me out. He just doesn't like a lot of the stupid media that surrounds sports, as always. All right. That's my rant on it. I didn't mean to take over with that.
And who wouldn't? I mean, at the end of the day, I guess someone who isn't in it for fame is in it for the love of the game. Like, you probably wouldn't be super attracted to it. But I wanted, because we talked about this yesterday, and I was going to do it yesterday. We didn't have enough time. But Jokic top 10 all NBA lists, like of all time. We both said he was on it, right? We both said he would be on it. So I want you right where he's at right now. I want you to say better, or how can I do this? I'm going to give you a player from an NBA great. I'm gonna give you an NBA great, and you can say either you want Jokic or the NBA great.
Okay.
All right. And so these are like, we're going prime. So we could say Jokic is at his prime right now.
Mhm.
Right. Okay. So let's go Shaq.
Gee, right out the rip with that. You're not kidding.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost disrespectful to not give it to Diesel. Right. I'm going to go Shaq still. I mean, he broke the game in his own way. Doesn't mean Jokic can't ever surpass it, but I mean, Shaq, you don't want to have recency bias. Shaq literally broke the game. Unstoppable force. Made rules around it because he was just that good. I think you still got to go Shaq, and he's got all the rings to show it.
Could you make an argument otherwise, though?
If you want to look for an all-around player, like if you want to go with that analogy, which if you run along with that analogy, then you can always make an excuse for every player. It's like, well, I want a good center because of the playmaking, and I'm going to put him around with a bunch of shooters and slashers, so I want Jokic. Yeah, you can make that argument, but if you just give me, like, I could easily sit here and say Jokic every single time. I really could, because I think Jokic is.
I would probably take Jokic. I ain't gonna lie.
Players better. I just don't want to put that disrespect on the great Diesel yet. Shaquille O'Neal. Give me Shaq. I'm gonna go with Shaq on this one right now. Doesn't mean I won't change it, but like no one could stop him, and there's no debating that.
That's all good. I think this one will be quick. Prime Dwight Howard, like 2011, 2012.
Yeah, Jokic.
Okay. Let's go prime David Robinson.
Jokic.
Cool. Patrick Ewing.
I'm gonna go Jokic, but that might be some major disrespect on Patrick Ewing. I need to watch more of his game.
Yeah, right. Okay, let's go Hakeem Olajuwon.
You got to go Hakeem, right? Like at least right now in his career, like for Jokic.
I mean, it's all preference. Honestly, if you look at numbers, it's all preference.
You're
getting a lot more defense.
If I go by preference, I'm going to piss off every old head listening by saying Jokic too many times.
No, do it.
The easy answer is Jokic. I mean, it really is. If you want a guy who can play, who can get you rebounds, who can get you points, who can shoot it from three, who can run your entire offense, has better IQ than any guard that you've ever had play under you, who is literally coaching a team. I shout out to the Nuggets interim head coach. It feels like Jokic is really calling a lot of the shots on those. It's hard to just deny it.
Last one here. Tim Duncan. And I know you can say he's a 4 or 5, whatever, but he's a big at the end of the day. Tim Duncan. Big fundamental.
Give me Jokic. Super fundamentals.
So the Diesel's the only one.
Yeah, I just think his Diesel broke the game. Like if they could have kept Diesel doing what Diesel was doing, like Shaq would have been unstoppable. But they got to the point with that guy where it's like, we got to fix this. This is the problem. I mean, that is the one thing that Shaq, and that's why I went with him. He just had a trait to his game that we've never seen before and likely never to be mimicked again. Jokic might be that same thing. I mean, try to find another guy with his jump shot, with his body type, with his IQ. I mean, the odds of that, like finding another guy like him is very improbable. The odds of finding another Shaq, that freak of an athlete with that strength, that's why I give a lot of credit to Shaq. You could argue that a lot of these other players had more balanced elements to their game, but there was elements to Shaq's game you just could not stop. And he was, oh man, what's the Avengers quote? I'm trying to think. Inevitable. Shaq was inevitable the same way Jokic is inevitable. Like they're just going to find their way to impact the game, and you're going to be helpless to it.
So now we're kind of on this, like, we're in this interesting part in the NBA history where it's like transitioning kind of away from the big. It did transfer away from the big, but now we're seeing like some of the top teams like are actually like having, are running their offense through a big, right? So if you had to pick right now, and I think the best big of our era right now is Jokic, and the best guard of our era is Curry. If you had to start a franchise, let's say, a big market franchise, let's say the Bulls, you wipe out the roster. You can either center your franchise around Jokic or Steph. Which one are you picking right now?
Jokic. Just easier. dream setup with Jokic, right, is I'd have to really think about it, but you get a guy like Jokic, high IQ. You get a guy like Aaron Gordon's perfect. You keep Aaron Gordon on that team. You need some high flyers who can find those back cuts. You get him like another high IQ player.
Like a Derek White.
Think about a LaMelo Ball.
That would be nuts. That would be insane.
You could save LaMelo Ball's career if you bring him over there.
Put Jello on there too.
Bring all the Ball brothers. Get Lonzo.
Yeah. Get Big Baller too. Put him. I don't know.
I don't even know what Jello's doing anymore. I know he's in the corner. Unknown texter 4424 talking about our list here. He says, don't feel bad about Patrick Ewing. He couldn't shoot real well. I'll clean that up a little bit. And great players, or I think he's talking about Shaq in particular, but he does say Tim Duncan over Jokic anytime, anyway. I can't even hate on him. Tim Duncan is, he would still do damage versus Jokic because he is Mr. Fundamentals. Like, he's so good at his craft that he's another guy that you can't necessarily nullify. And what he did at the Spurs, you can't necessarily disrespect. So, and
the Spurs were like the Yankees growing up to me. Like, I hated watching them.
Who?
The Spurs.
Oh yeah, I mean, I really felt indifferent, and then Kawhi Leonard showed up, and I was like, I love this guy. This is incredible to watch because they took down your beloved LeBron James. They did. I mean, were they the team to break up that super team? I think it was, right after the Spurs beat. You just disbanded essentially.
2014. I think so.
All right, you can sit on that. We can think about that. No, I'm just kidding. Where do you want to go for the third and final segment as we throw out the break here?
We could touch on some Nebraska stuff. We didn't get too much into the Michigan controversy and stuff like that. So, yeah.
All right, we'll do that next. Don't go anywhere. Chancellor Brewington, Harrison Arns. We'll talk to you guys in a little bit.
93.7 The Ticket is your home for every Kansas City Royals baseball game. Bobby Witt Jr., Salvador Perez, Vinny Pasquantino, and the rest of the Royals attempt to make the postseason for the second season in a row. And you can hear all the action on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Your home for Kansas City Royals baseball.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it twice a day.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it in the morning and before dinner.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it, and share it with my doctor.
Nearly 1 in 2 U.S. adults have high blood pressure. That's why it's important to self-monitor your blood pressure in 4 easy-to-remember steps. It starts with a monitor.
Now that I know my blood pressure numbers, I talked with my doctor. We're getting those numbers down.
Get it, slip it, cuff it, check it. Talk to doctor now and share it.
Be next to talk to your doctor about your blood pressure numbers. Get down with your blood pressure. Self-monitoring is power. Learn more at manageyourbp.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council, the American Heart Association, and the American Medical Association, in partnership with the Office of Minority Health and Health Resources and Services Administration.
Hi, this is Pastor Tom. Did you know there's a place kids can seek out help when they're away from home and something goes wrong? They find themselves in a difficult spot or even a dangerous situation. Maybe another child is bullying them or a stranger is following them. Perhaps on a date and things just go bad. In Lincoln, here's where they can find help. It's called Safe Place. Safe Place is a national program for children taking place in thousands of cities across the United States. The People City Mission is sponsoring this program in our community and has set up a number of businesses, fire stations, schools, and nonprofits around the city to become safe locations where kids can seek out help. They just need to look for the big yellow sign that says Safe Place on it. Then go inside and ask for help. We will be quickly connected to them and ensure they make it back home or to whatever resources are needed. If you'd like to find out more about Safe Place and ways in which you can get involved, just go to pcmlincoln.org. Remember, when we all do a little, we change a lot.
Okay, kids, Dad's gonna teach you how to dance. First, spread your feet apart. Then, pump your knee, nod your head, shake your hips, and bite your lip ever so slightly. Now, with one hand in the air, point at people with the other hand. I call that the rock star.
Dance like a dad. It's a great way to make a moment with your kids.
Now, make a face like it just smells something bad.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Out here on Nebraska's calm, welcoming waters, fishing is a breeze. It's the sweet spot. where solo anglers find quiet before the catch, families reel in memories, and first-timers discover what makes fishing so special. From the Panhandle to the Platte, the best fishing happens here, beneath Nebraska skies. Get started at letsfishnebraska.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hey racing fans, this is Brie Marie inviting you to join me and James Rowland for the Finish Line every Sunday night from 7 to 8 p.m. Catch up with the local dirt track drivers, national racers, and everyone you need to know about in the world of racing. Don't spin your wheels, hit the gas, and join us Sundays at 7 p.m. for the Finish Line on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
I could tell something wasn't right. My buddy Jake just wasn't himself. He seemed down. I was concerned about him and asked if he was thinking about suicide.
We all have a role in preventing suicide. Know the warning signs. They may not seem like themselves, be depressed, withdrawn, stressed, agitated, or talking about suicide. Call, text, or chat 988 for 24/7 support. Paid for by the University of Nebraska Public Policy Center, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Back to What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program.
All right, welcome back in. A final segment, What's Brewing, Chancellor Brewington. One more from the text line here. Big Tim Duncan fan, and I'm going to read it because we actually need more big-time Tim Duncan fans. Because he was one of the greatest. I'm not fully there with him, but he says, Prime Timmy Duncan is better than Jokic and any other big right now in the league, period. Not fully there. I still think Jokic, it's hard to argue with everything he does in this game. But yes, the prime Tim Duncan can never be understated. And I hope he goes down as one of the best remembered centers. Because when you are Mr. Fundamentals, as it comes with the name, it's not the most flashiest play. But, you know, some of his best seasons, that 01-02 season in particular, 26 points a game, 13 rebounds, 4 assists. And he got, 2.5 blocks on top of it. And obviously no three-point shot. Of course, him throughout pretty much his entire career shooting the ball at 50% field goal percentage. I mean, it's Mr. Fundamental for a reason. The best thing about Tim Duncan, always there, never hurt. Every game he's playing like 82 seasons. The worst season he ever had, I think, was probably his second year before I was even really alive and knowledgeable. I know he had the injury. He's probably sat out 50 games. But I think that's the only major injury he ever had. Like, he was 82 games, 78, just consistently available, consistently going to give you 20 and 10 and maybe a few assists to sprinkle on top. So there's my credit.
Yeah.
He is, you go watch his highlights and it's amazing how much you can do without doing a whole lot. That's the definition of Tim Duncan.
It's tough for me to, I'll say this. I think it's awesome that people have I don't know if Tim Duncan's on this category, but kind of, because I mean, like, usually if I ask you like what your favorite player is, usually it's like, you got Kobe, you got LeBron, you got KD, you got James Harden. So I think it's awesome when people have other favorite players, and I think Tim Duncan's a great. So it's not like, who's your favorite player, like Rasheed Wallace, like, so it's like. That's a little different, but I think it's awesome.
Question, actually, real quick, I want to ask you that. Give me your favorite. Why in the hell is this your guy? Player, like a guy that you've always rooted for, but you probably don't say it first because people look at you weird.
Leandro Barbosa.
Yeah, that is a zag.
and I got a few: Leandro Barbosa, Ben Wallace, Sean Marion.
Okay.
And I used to like Jason Williams, White Chocolate.
Yeah. I watched so many White Chocolate highlight videos growing up. One of the flashiest players to ever do it. Pistol Pete Maravich as well, but that's like a superstar that a lot of people remember.
Yeah.
I've been big, you already know, Carlos Boozer guy. You gotta love Carlos Boozer. Steven Adams. I love me some Steven Adams.
Ooh.
And then Lonzo Ball. And when he even got drafted to the Lakers, I loved watching him at UCLA. And even after the hype, I will admit that I maybe rode onto the wagon too long. I was like, no, this guy, playmaking wise, I'm always just a fan. That's why I'm a huge fan of Chris Paul. He's a great, so I didn't mention him. But you give me a guard, and that's the same reason why I like Jokic so much. Like, I just like seeing beautiful basketball. And that's what those guys do. They're, playmaking first. Those are always going to be my favorite type of players. And then Boozer's just a dog, and Steven Adams is a dog. That's why I like those guys.
Yeah, those guys are dogs. You know who I used to like? I feel like he got lost in between an era is Blake Griffin.
Yeah, I always feel bad for Blake Griffin. And what he did for the Pistons, you know, he ruined his career.
Or the Clippers.
No, the Pistons. Remember, towards the end of his career.
Oh, okay. The second stint. Yeah.
Adi went to hell getting that team to the playoffs. I mean, his career ended there, and he gave everything he had to that city, and the city loved him for it. So I'm not saying it was a bad thing, but it was still hard to see him go out that way.
And his game evolved. Like it went from, then he's shooting threes. He's shooting a high percentage from three. Like he's got a good mid range. He went from the dunker to like this all around basketball player. And it just happened like a little too late.
Yeah. Man, we could do an entire segment on the best, what ifs outside of the obvious ones like D Rose that everybody throws out there that we all know well, but
the Paul Georges. Yeah.
Paul George, he got his chance. He just didn't.
And Michael Beasley. I mean, that was one of the coldest hoopers ever.
Same draft class as D Rose.
Yeah, I think
There's a real conversation. Do you take D Rose, the city kid, or take Beasley? Because Beasley was that good.
Yeah, it's crazy. Then you see kind of both their careers and one for a different reason and one for another. So it's tough.
Absolutely. Well, give me your final thoughts here. We kind of ran away with that segment, but.
Yeah, final thoughts. I mean, shoot. I think Jokic might be the best big we've ever seen, in my opinion. And it's tough to say it while you're where you're like you're up close to the picture. It's kind of hard to see all the minute details, but I think 5 years, 6 years later, when we zoom out and see the numbers and be like, this dude's still doing this, because I think longevity wise, he could play like this for a long, long time. So
yeah, I mean it's a joke, and it's also like a compliment. Like his vertical may be good enough to hop on the curb. When that guy's dropping 42 on your head with 20 plus rebounds, a little bit similar design. It's just his reaction time. I know people don't equate athleticism to like hand-eye coordination and just your reaction time. Whatever his is, he's got to have the best in the league, because that's how he gets so many of those boards, is just being quick to react to the misses. But that's going to wrap it up for us. Shout out to everybody listening throughout Ticket Weeknights. Chancellor Brewington, appreciate it as always. I will talk to you again on Thursday. And the early break crew, Steve Sipple, Nick Sainert, and Bill Bush will join you once again, 6 a.m. Have a great rest of your Tuesday night.